Hello there, welcome back to more Pokemon Emerald Legacy. You could just call me Stent. Sorry for the late introduction, just technical difficulties where I tried to fix the aspect ratio for my capture software, and the version of basically the hardware I'm using to actually stream the GameCube footage to the PC. Tried fixing the aspect ratio for that, which worked earlier in the day, but then for some reason, when I tried starting it up to actually start the stream, for some reason it just decided to not register, and then had a lot of problems just trying to get Elgato to work with it again. But we're here, 10 minutes late, unfortunately, and yeah, generally, I will admit this past week has not exactly been the best for me. Just me and the family have started up a low-carb diet for the foreseeable future, and it's been rough going, at least to start off with. But regardless, here's the team we have to work with for the time being. Just the classic favorites. Yeah, capture software, just... Regardless, here we are. And again, it may be a little bit subdued this time around. Ooh, the boulder is shaking in response to the Magma Emblem, because of course, last time we left off, we ended up at Mount Pyre and being handed the Magma Emblem instead of a respective red or blue orb, so here we are. Magma Hideout, and again, mood not exactly the best at this point in time, so maybe a little bit subdued this time around, so without any further ado, obviously speaking, Magma Hideout being a recent addition to Emerald as opposed to being in Ruby Sapphire, not exactly the most used to this particular area compared to some of the others. Though its layout really does sort of put me in mind of a Mount Ember from Fire Red Leaf Green, which I suppose is fairly apt considering they came out around a similar time frame. Funky bassline for Magma Hideout. I mean, it's basically just the Team Magma theme as far as I'm aware. Still can't believe Sceptile gets extreme speed, and I think in terms of wild Pokemon in here, we're mostly good for the time being. I have spent a fair bit of time off-stream just catching wild Pokemon, including Feebas. I actually got a Feebas. How the day? The rest of the week's generally been worse. I feel it's been more on the up and up for the time being, and let me just see if I can just, for prosperity's sake, let's just see if I can find... Obviously I got Pinsir and Heracross. Yet to evolve, get a Donphan, got... I could have sworn I'd actually caught a Wobbuffet. Ah well. I got Wynaut in any case, so it's not the biggest deal. Where is... There we go, got Feebas. Which, unfortunately, is unchanged compared to the base game, which is kind of ironic considering the mod maker has had some very strong thoughts upon Gyarados throughout the game's... the series history, should I say. Ooh, we're actually starting off with a Murkrow, actually getting some unique team dynamics here. Oh. Alright, off to a good start. I was actually coming at me with the good moves now. It's kind of funny, because earlier today I was looking at a particular bit of a playthrough of Standard Emerald. Particularly a Nuzlocke-ish-esque run of Flannery. I just kind of find it funny just how much trouble they had with Torkoal, especially. Just completely wiped like all but one of her team, which was just... and she just ended up with a Skarmory. Did you see... unfortunately, I don't. Unfortunately, I didn't. Would have probably been beneficial for me to swap out from Sceptile, actually. Just... I think we should be fine just switching in Shelgon. I just figured that the slash would be enough to just cleave through the rest of the team, but I guess I was wrong. I got Dragon Claw and Crunch. It really just sort of all of a sudden feels as though the teams here aren't messing around anymore. Come on, Bacon, you can take... Surely you can take down a Ninetales. Come on, Bacon. Come on. There we go. Would have been a little bit embarrassing if Shelgon wasn't even able to take out the Ninetales. Oh, we're dealing with Courtney right off the bat. Oh. I didn't realize. I thought this was just a standard Magma grunt, but no, it's apparently Courtney. Everybody's favorite from harass. You know what? It's been a while since we sent out Gardevoir. I actually realized off screen that the Shuppet we caught at Mount Pyre had a spell tag, so I've given that to Gardevoir. Considering, of course, Shadow Ball is now, or should I say specifically Ghost type is now special, meaning that Gardevoir can actually make use of it. So now we have a moveset which is more on par with what you'd normally get in the later games, except minus Focus Miss.
You're stronger than I expected, but Team Magma will not be so easily stopped.
I didn't recognize you without the, the dead behind the eyes stare. And the creepy obsession with analyzing people. Just... I didn't realize right off the bat until I'd seen the, I think it was Evolution Special. Just how creepy Courtney could be. I could kind of see the... But also, I also managed to catch a Dodrio in the Safari Zone, which is why I got a Sharp Beak. I could have sworn I had some revives in here. Because I really don't want to go back to the Pokemon Center after all that. There we go, there's only a couple of revives. Gotta be more careful. Yeah, it's just, unfortunately this past week just generally been quite a, admittedly sad episode for me. Just spending most of the time just, when I got off of work, just lying in bed or just... Oh, finally, we got Graveler. Which I think is about 6 levels away from evolving into Golem, because of course, trade evolutions are now just standard level evolutions now. With Golem and Machamp, I think, evolving at 36, and Alakazam and Gengar evolving at 42, because... Naturally, Alakazam and Gengar are generally considered some of the best Pokemon in the game. All throughout the, like... I almost want to say 4 generations? Maybe not so much Diamond and Pearl, because of course Garchomp exists. Oh. Just had to make things difficult for me, didn't you? I just used the revive, come on! Seriously, the manners of these Gravelers. I've been thinking also I should probably make better use of the storage and just dump away all the hold items I'm not going to be using. I'm kind of curious to see what other Pokemon we can find in here, though, aside from just Geodude and the occasional Torkoal. Because from what I recall, the encounters in here weren't exactly the most inspired. It was just basically Fiery Path, except without all the interesting stuff, like the Machops and the Grimers and the Coughings. How are the work? Well, it's work. It's not too certain how much I should really divulge, because obviously NDAs and whatnot. There's a lot of handling of sensitive information. That's, I think, all the best and the most I'll get out of that. Just Sceptile is broken. Not as broken as Swampert. I'm pretty sure the mod maker himself straight up said that while Sceptile is good now, you know, just Leaf Blade actually just proccing focus energy with a 50% chance and extreme speed. Still not as good as Swampert, just generally just given enough tools to get by for most of the game, because generally speaking, Sceptile... In fact, the whole Treecko line is probably was basically just the weaker of the free starters. Honestly, it is kind of like Gen 4 in a way, where there's really not any particular reason why you shouldn't pick one particular starter over the others. In Gen 4, of course, it's Infinite, and here it's Swampert. But here it's slightly more even. At the very least, the starters now have the same base stat total. Which I find kind of staggering that Swampert just has, for no particular reason, just a 5+ more higher base stat total. Words. Hope all is good. Yeah, I'm managing. In any case, it's just been a good opportunity to listen to some more audiobooks. At this point, I'm pretty much at the end of the 6 Halo books I've gotten, and I'm not entirely certain as to what I'm gonna do next, actually. Whether I'm just gonna listen through one of the books I already have, or go into something else, like maybe Hitchhiker's Guide, or... I am kind of curious to check out the James Bond books, actually. I appreciate the pizza rolls, but unfortunately, diet doesn't allow for the pizza rolls. It's kind of painful as well, going back to, last night with the Pathfinder session, where we were just finally clearing out and demolishing this, keep that we were tasked with going through, because it was basically just this nice little bottleneck which we could block off reinforcements for when we overtook the capital. And they brought out these nice little cupcakes and brownies, and me and my dad were just very like, oh, these look really nice, but we can't eat these. Big things coming for the channel? I certainly hope so. Because right now, I could use a bit of a lifting of the spirits, if that makes sense. Oh. We got into this whole situation, haven't we? Oh, my favorite. This really reminds me of one particularly bad match I had on Battle Revolution, where for some reason I felt compelled to use slacking, and I just got completely walled out by a Milotic. Just... timing protects. And I was just very like, I can't do anything against this Milotic. Use you water, much appreciated, thank you. Water probably will be just the unsung hero of this whole diet thing, just as a means of feeling more full. Oh, here's another Torkoal. I will admit that this does at the very least beat the standard Team Rocket affair, just like, oh, here's just a whole bunch of Zubats and the regional rats. Here's just a whole bunch of Zubats and Poochyena. Here it's actually like, here's some Pokemon which you might be interested in fighting. I know it's kind of weird, but I always thought that the female Magma grunts had like a beard. I'm not sure you can see it from where I'm standing. This really looks like they have a stubble. You rouse my suspicion. Why I'm up to... Oh, hold up. Hold up. Give me a second. There we go, I think it's working now. Just for software crash. Oh hey, it's wheezing! This feels as though I very rarely see wheezings in this game, and they're more so just kept for Coliseum. I suppose more specifically Gale of Darkness. I don't think you saw many wheezing in Coliseum either. Most of us remember just being hit by a whole bunch of fire blasts and will-o-wisps. So it leads me to wonder just how much sort of dev time they really had to work on Emerald, because obviously this whole area is mostly just reusing assets from Fiery Path as far as I'm aware. Yeah, we'll just get rid of you with Rock Smash. I will admit, just trying to level up Slacking, I may have made a mistake with getting rid of Feint Attack. Just having something which can actually hit ghost types is sorely missed with Slacking. It's like, Northern fighting generally have good coverage, though I'm more so thinking of that from the basis of using Megalopony, which can just hit ghost types no problem. I think something how worth the Pokemon cards game. Not exactly sure what you mean by that, Denoise. Because admittedly, I did collect a couple of the trading cards in my youth. For some reason, I just really wanted a Lugia EX because I saw that it had like something ridiculous like 200 damage on it. Excuse me. Nah, well, the last thing I need is more normal type moves on Slacking. Yeah, I think we'll just start off with Shulgin. I have been noticing, actually, with the team. Generally speaking, most of my team has just been a bunch of late bloomers, like Slacking, obviously, God of War. Both these don't really get good until they evolve. Sceptile is in a sort of similar situation. Metang and Shulgin have still yet to fully come online, but which is sort of why, especially looking back at the Flannery Gym battle, I really do sort of feel that Azumarill is just the sort of unsung hero of this playthrough. In Pokemon cards I've collected a few, but I never know how you play the card game. Admittedly, I've never actually played the card game either. I mean, that being said, I was sort of curious about that, sort of, starting pack, I think, which was sort of based on the, initial sort of wave of Pokemon cards from the 90s. I was sort of curious to get that, but then again, I'm sure it's ludicrously expensive. Because honestly, I never really got exactly why so many people out on the interwebs constantly fight over Pokemon cards, but I think I already answered my own question, because even back in the day, looking on eBay for Pokemon cards, I saw them going, some of them going for pretty ridiculous rates. Just like a Groudon EX Pokemon card back in the day, going for like £11, not adjusted for inflation. It's like 11 for a single Pokemon card. And that probably seemed ridiculous back in the day, but now you have people just constantly fighting over them in the streets. So it just makes me think, yeah, I'm kind of glad that I never fully got into it. I'm not sure how many Sodigogs I am currently got at the moment. I'm pretty sure it's not many. If any at all. I'm also thinking as well just how much stuff that I've still technically missed as well, because I'm kind of curious of checking out if anything's up on the Saint Libra. I think it's the Libra. Actually, The shipwreck. We'll just call it that, the shipwreck. Alright, let's have another go at trying to catch Graveler. Not gonna take any chances with you this time. Yeah, we'll just go for the Hyper Ball. I'm not sure I already mentioned this before. In hindsight, I never exactly got why they decided to change up the names of the Pokeballs, because obviously in Japanese, the namings of the various Pokeballs are more so in line with the potions, where you got your normal potion, you got your super potion, and then you got your hyper potion. Similar case with the repels. And in Japanese, the Great Ball is called the Super Ball, and the Ultra Ball is called the Hyper Ball. Which is supposed to kind of made it awkward when Gen 7 rolled around, because the Beast Ball in Japanese is called the Ultra Ball. Libra. Yeah, I just remember that at the very least there was some kind of ship in the Pokemon series, which I think was the SS Libra. I think that was actually Gale of Darkness, though, the one that was in the deserts. It's been a while. Dagnammit. Well, at the very least, Shelgon was actually able to tank that. As I would hope to expect from something as bulky as a Shelgon. It really just feels, for the most part, that Shelgon has just been, at least on paper, performing better than Metang, just from stats alone. I mean, I say that, but Metang at the very least has slightly higher defenses. Hey, Anemone. Want to speak Japanese? I've actually been taking some time out to learn a little bit of Japanese on my own in preparation for potentially going to Japan later in the year. Got on the family plan for Duolingo, as various members of the family have been interested in learning German because my sister's moved to Germany. Just figured, oh, if we're gonna go visit visit the sister in Germany, it would be prudent for us to learn some German. And I figured, oh, you know, if they're all up on Duolingo learning German, then I may as well get on the Duolingo horse and try out some Nihongo. Just going through it slow and steady on my work breaks. I could almost taste Salamence at this point. It's so tantalizing at this point. You know what? I'm gonna bring up Metang at the front. It feels as though it's been a while since I used Metang. Game mode in Sonic 3D and 2D. Sonic 3D and 2D, that definitely sounds like an interesting mix. Because I remember having a fair few mixed feelings with regards to 3D Blast when I played it, or 3D Flicky's Island. Mostly just, oh hey, there's all this music which I recall from Sonic Adventure. Sound like I got a cold. Again, I haven't exactly been feeling the best throughout the week, so hopefully I'm not coming down with something again, because that's the last thing I need. Oh, this is a bad matchup. I'm just going to try. I have Thunderbolt, so we should be okay. I mean, I say that, I think Murkrow's a little bit bulkier here than usual. Stats sort of been adjusted to make it more in line with Honchkrow. Not one-for-one with Honchkrow's stats, just more leaning towards Honchkrow. I know for a fact that Rosalia now has higher special attack, to make it more in line with Roserade. There we go, that's what I need. Okay, this isn't so bad, actually. This whole thing just seems like a whole bunch of free XP, which is fine, because at this point, I'd say we're pretty much where we're supposed to be in terms of levels, and not a little over. This is generally the safest I've felt in terms of levels for a while. speaking of which, I say speaking of which, I did actually get a hold of Emerald Seagrass. Not Seagrass, Seaglass. Because I heard, I think it was last stream someone mentioned Seaglass. I was like, oh, okay, I may check that out, and I finally did. I didn't get too far in it, just enough to ensure that it worked on my GBA, and so far it does sort of look like a, I suppose what I call an ideal Pokemon looking experience, but at the same time, I do kind of wish that the soundtrack matched, because obviously it's going for a more retro 8-bit look to it all, and I kind of wish that we got music to match. Because as far as I'm aware, the music is unchanged. Maybe it's just I patched it wrong. I am definitely interested in checking out more of Seaglass, but because it does have a lot of quality of life stuff which I am interested in getting into. It's like, here we have what is essentially a quote-unquote definitive edition of Emerald, whereas Seaglass is more just sort of, let's push the boundaries of what a Pokemon game can be. I suppose Emerald Legacy is more of a purist experience. Purest quality of life experience, whereas Seaglass is more of a what I'd want to see from the series going forward, because from what I've seen, at least from the change notes, there's a lot of stuff which looks like it would be really good to mess around with, like the HM system, which is basically what I've been pining for in the series for the longest time. I was just looking at the changes and like, the HM system is that you don't even need to learn the HMs. It's just if your Pokemon could use the HMs, they could just use them without having to learn them. It's like, this is the sort of thing I've been wanting in the series for the longest time. What controller do you use to play? I technically have a custom controller. It's technically built on a Switch controller, but is compatible with the GameCube. I think it's the best way of putting it. I'm trying to look up the official name for it, actually, but needless to say, I do have a, I think I already mentioned this, it does have a purple GameCube shell with most of the GameCube color buttons, so it's mostly faithful, just the D-pad didn't work properly. So I just went with the default one, the one which worked. Sprite flickering is a little annoying, but apparently it's been crashing. I did notice something about that in the notes about Seaglass. Just something to do with flickering. Also, oh, so yeah, they just give you a flamethrower here, which is nice. The controller using the 8-bit to wireless control. That sort of reminds me, actually, I've just seen so many videos of just people just showing off the GameCubes, and they all have the Wavebird controller, and I never got the Wavebird controller. Which, on one hand, I am a little envious about that, because the Wavebird does seem kind of cool, but at the same time, with all my experience of the Xbox 360 constantly running out of batteries in its controller, I've sort of been conditioned over time to just prefer the reliability of wired connections, even if it is a little bit messy. In my mind, the mess is worth it. Or rather something which is slightly less convenient, but wholly reliable. Which I suppose is an appropriate way to look at my situation with messing around with Elgato, because earlier today I was messing with the aspect ratio, and I did manage to successfully get a 69:9 You can hear tremors in here sometimes. Could it be Oops! No. What did you say? What was that about a growl? Yeah, I successfully did get a 16:9 look to this, but then when I tried to start the game earlier today, just to get ready for the stream, for some reason the aspect ratio just sort of squished down to just something I don't even know what. And I just figured if it's gonna cause problems like that, then I'll just make do with the less than stellar aspect ratio that I got working here, because obviously I managed to make do with regards to how it looks on the stream. So the way I see it, I'll just make do. I mean, saying that, I suppose it would have been interesting to go through the whole of this with my Actually, let me just see how I do with it. Let me just go grab it. It's in here somewhere. Hopefully I don't have any issues doing this. I also got the Retrobit, let's have a look at this. Basically just the 8-bit controller. I think it's the 8-bit controller. Retro controller. It's a GameCube controller, but it's built like a Super Nintendo controller, where it's got a D-pad, it's got the face buttons, start and select, got all the buttons except no analog stick. Anyway, sorry, I want to invite some friends to the movie day and we want to play Mario Party 3. Oh, I see. So you're kind of worried that you're gonna leave that experience with 3 less friends. I getcha. I say that I haven't actually played a Mario Party game with friends at the very least, which is, I know, is kind of sad. The closest I think was, the mini games in Secret Rings, which is basically Mario Party. One of the guys is freaking out that he lost his Magma. Oh, the fool. Wait a minute, was it you who found it? Apparently. Ah. I suppose just thinking more about sea glass. From what I did see, at the very least, it did look really good. It is... Even a GBA game it can successfully have battle backgrounds. And yet, even today, games like Sword and Shield still struggle on that front. I really am quite interested in seeing more of Sea Glass. But again, I do already have a lot on my plate as it is, you know, Final Fantasy VI, Cyberpunk, Klonoa. And honestly, I'm not entirely certain the next time I stream a Pokemon game, I'm not sure I do want it to be Emerald again. I kind of want to space it out, if that makes sense. Thinking it's either gonna be another Legacy game like Yellow or Crystal, Gale of Darkness, not Gale of Darkness, Colosseum, or Super Mystery Dungeon again, because I can't really want to do the Super Mystery Dungeon thing again because last time I did it, my mic wasn't working. Sounds like a good time to play Sonic Shuffle. I never had a Dreamcast though. I'm kind of surprised I never actually just ported Shuffle onto the GameCube. At least, even just for completionist's sake, given the nature of the Sonic Adventure port. Did they really think even back then Shuffle was that bad? That they had to just scrub it in the same way they did Knuckles Chaotix? Heck, even with my Mania stream, there was just the realization that Knuckles Chaotix gets more love than Shuffle. Is that deserved? Maybe. I've heard some less than savory things with regards to Shuffle. Best controllers, analog Vintage controllers, is Retro Fighter. I did hear a little bit about Retro Fighter, actually. Doing stuff like digging up a super ancient Pokemon and ripping up someone else's meteorite. I think we're going a little too far, don't you think? Oh no, this one's thinking for himself. The Hori control. I don't think I've actually heard of that one, actually. Retro Fighter sounds familiar at the very least. This would have been a perfect opportunity to use Focus Mist, but I guess we'll just do a Thunderbolt. Because you gotta remember, the best electric type in Pokemon Emerald is Gardevoir with Thunderbolts. I don't make the rules. NPC Nintendo some. Yeah, I think we're doing something wrong somehow. I don't remember this being in Vanilla Emerald. You know what? Losing you clear my mind. Next time I see her later, I'm gonna ask him about what we do. It's like, Maxie, are we the baddies? Our hats have skulls on them, Hans. Just thinking of which, I do definitely kind of want to save a Azumarill for when we fight Maxie, so I think I may just stick with Gardevoir on the lead for the time being. Okay, that's the way up. We joined something and help our leader achieve his fantastic vision. I don't care if you were Team Rock or just some kid passing by. Oh, I'm more than just a kid. I do at the very least appreciate that we're getting more than just the standard Zubat affairs. Like, I barely seen a Golbat in my time here. It's Mightyena, sure, but I'm definitely seeing a lot more Claydolls, a lot more Torkoals. It's been nice. Just a nice little extra bit of variety. You're not to be trusted at all. I do think we're getting close, though. Let's see, here we have... Oh, yes. It would have been handy when I was leveling up to try and get Shedinja for the Pokédex, but I'll take it. Let's see, rare candy. What do I want to use this on? Matang. I don't think I'm going to be using Matang much throughout here. Iron Defense. Ooh. So I want to use Iron Defense. Probably not. It's weird that even here Rock Smash and Cut are like my best options on Matang. I'll use this on Leaf Blade. A mistake? Probably. But it's mine to make. Yeah, this area in particular, for some reason, just really reminded me of Mount Ember. Or at the very least, just one area which was in Fusion Reborn. It's been a while since I played that. One candy and a Vulcan. I want to see Groudon too, but they won't let me even see its tail. It's gonna be feeling really frustrated. Oh no, I blabbed about Groudon. Well, cat's out of the bag. Whatever a cat is. That really just puts in mind Detective Pikachu. Actually, weirdly enough, the game, where they're in the boat and one of the characters is like, this boat is like 400 horsepower. I'm just like, in the context of Pokemon, what is a horse? I think it was just, I don't think it strictly mattered so much in the early instances of Pokemon, where it was implied there were still normal animals. Like, obviously, in the anime, you got... I think it was Haunter or Ghastly transforming into a mongoose in order to scare Jesse's Arbok. And of course the existence of Indian elephants in Raichu's Pokédex entry. Detective... I didn't really hear that many good things about Detective Pikachu 2, unfortunately. It is funny because the only part I've actually seen is the ending, where you see a Mewtwo fighting a Deoxys, and which you'd think would be a cool fight scene, but not really. Honestly, with regards to the Detective Pikachu movie, I was really wishing that it was just the springboard for just an actual Pokemon movie, because if anything, I really did like the world that Detective Pikachu the movie set up. I was just like, afterwards I just thought to myself, I really want to see an actual, like, conventional Pokemon movie in this setting. It's sort of like Pokemon Apocalypse, except good. Because I'm not entirely certain people actually remember Apocalypse, just this sort of grim, dark version of Pokemon, which was... or at least some sort of just grim, dark trailer for Pokemon back in the early 2000s, late 2000s. I don't remember that all that much. Actually, just I remember Mewtwo using Psychic to have a security officer just turn her gun on herself in the trailer. I like the Detective Pikachu as a amiibo, the movies don't... Wouldn't consider a conventional Pokemon movie. I personally would be more willing to consider Detective Pikachu to be Pokemon Movie 23 than Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Because I remember hearing when that was coming out and I just couldn't help but think, why? Why are you doing this? If I wanted to watch Mewtwo Strikes Back, I'd just watch the first movie. It's still fine to this day. Not bad, to be honest. You liked Ryan Reynolds' Detective Pikachu, I gather? I mean, generally speaking, Ryan Reynolds is just, had a mostly good record as just being a funny guy, funny, likable guy in movies, except for, I can't remember that one movie he was in. It was like an NPC in a VR game. It was just being this... just went through the whole thing, just generally being a nice dude and just constantly getting bullied for... Oh, hey, Tabitha. It's been a while. I remember that there was something special lined up about your particular, team here. I see you got a Crobat. Yep. As predictable as the sun rising, Crobat always starting off with Confuse Ray. Green Lantern? No, it wasn't Green Lantern. I think it was Fall Guy? I think it was Fall Guy. Not to be confused with the game with the same name. Yeah, it was Fall Guy. Now I remember. I just remember hearing that one was particularly good. It's weird. It's like now I actually feel as though I have a solution for every situation, just about. I mean, except for electric types, but I reckon with just a well-placed Earthquake, that shouldn't be a problem. Feels like the one-and-done type of movie, never rewatched it. Yeah, I suppose that's kind of fair. 'Cause I've never really heard anyone talk about Detective Pikachu albeit sort of in a negative sense ever since the movie came out. It's sort of been massively overshadowed by the likes of the Sonic movies and the Mario product. I don't think I should be too harsh on the Mario movie because I didn't really watch that either. Mostly just out of a sense of bitterness, to be perfectly honest. I mean, nothing against the Mario movie in general, just being a Sonic fan, generally, I feel just results in just an indisputable sense of bitterness towards the man in red. Not sure if you've already noticed about Tabitha's team here. So far, he's not had a single fire type. It's just been Crobat, it's just been Cacturn, it's just been Lairon, and let's see your last Pokemon. Come on. Show me your last one. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre that way. Tabitha here doesn't have a single fire type in Team Magma. Or ground type for that matter, but weirdly enough, I do kind of think it works. Dark Souls X Pokemon, I mean, I suppose there's Kaizo for that. If that's your particular cup of tea. Who do I want to throw in? Who do I want to throw in against Maxi right off the bat? Yeah, let's just. Do I want to throw a Zoom Roll straight in? I'm sure it'll be fine. Yep, everybody's cheering on a Zoom Roll. I miss my soda pops. Do I actually have any super potions now that I'm thinking about it? Do I have... Nope, no super potions, so I guess we'll just have to, Alright, Azumarill, hold your nose. Yeah, I'll just use one more Repel, and... Max Revive. That'll be useful. I can't use it in battle, but I suppose it might be useful. And there he is! It's Gordon! We found Gordon!
Groudon. Nothing could awaken you beyond your sleep bathed in magma. This red orb was what you sought, wasn't it? I have brought you the red orb. Awaken, Groudon, reveals me the full extent of the strength that saved our ancestors.
Looks like we were too late. There he goes.
Groudon, so you've risen to bring an end to the deluge. It's as expected. You seek to restore the balance that was disrupted. Oh, it's you. Everything is already in motion. Groudon will purge the ceaseless tide and restore balance. Now it's your turn to be dealt with.
Here we go. Maxi fight. Red screen to death. Well, we'll see. Because, of course, Maxi's gonna be pretty tough. Yep. Starting right off the bat, he has a Houndoom. Specifically added to the game for him. No matter though, I'm not afraid of your son. I'm gonna deal you the same way I did Flannery. Here we go. Defense drop, don't care. Yep, one shot. Next. Who's next on the chopping block? Oh, he has a Shiftry. Oh, wait, he has Chlorophyll, doesn't he? Oh, no. Azumarill, I'm sorry. I forgot. He lived. Come on, Azumarill. Yes. Keep going. Crobat. Oh, this might be the end. He's just gonna throw Confuse Ray right off the... Oh, Giga Dra... Oh. Okay. Well, you still did good, Azumarill. I'm proud of you. Gardevoir will probably be able to clean up. I ain't afraid of you. What are you gonna do, confuse me? Oh, you're using fly. Okay. No matter. I'm sure I'll be able to tank this. Sun's gone, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright, we can tank this. Alright. Clean up on our Maxi. Oh, Agern. I don't think we hardly ever see any Agrons outside of Stevens. It really just feels like Azumarill has just become the mascot. Azumarill is the main character now. I can dig it. I know that it's resistant, but I'm sure Shadow Ball can finish you off. There he goes. Now for the ace. Camerupt. What have you got in store for me this time, Camerupt? I do wonder. Wait, Camerupt's faster? That doesn't make sense. Why are you faster than me, Camerupt? Oh, you're just gonna sit there spamming amnesia, are you? One more hit should be able to do it. Oh. What, we're like speed tied, I guess? Okay, I'll take it.
What makes you so adept at handling Pokemon? Groudon has awakened to bring an end to the flooding and restore balance. But Archie must not awaken the other. That would bring forth a cataclysm. I'll put a stop to him. This volcano has served its purpose. This is where our paths diverge.
Did you what? Oh, yeah. That's another team, but yeah, I did also watch Evangelion. Mostly the ADV dub, because that's sort of what I'm most nostalgic for back in the day from old YouTube poops. I did definitely enjoy my time with it, and I'll be honest, I do... Well, I know at least I'm fairly certain the original ending for Evangelion was rushed. Honestly, I do kind of prefer it, because as far as I'm aware, the director was in a bit of a depressive episode going through making Evangelion, and honestly, the ending really does sort of resonate with me a fair bit, just knowing that it's at the very least okay for me to be here. I feel that's just generally helped me out a lot in a particularly dark time. That's all I'll say. And of course, everybody wanted a more definitive ending, and what we got was End of Evangelion, which is certainly entertaining, I'll give it that. But I could definitely see it as being just more of a an experience made in pure bitterness. Anyways, we're here in Lava Ridge Town because if we have a look at the match call, I already mentioned how certain rematches are overleveled, but yeah, we can rematch Flannery. Ending sticks with you for many years. Oh yeah, it definitely does. Shinji in the end of the movie has a life normal. Admittedly, the original ending for Evangelion is a fair bit abstract, but I don't think that's necessarily the point. It generally feels like a two diverging pathways between Shinji's ultimate answer to the Human Instrumentality Project. We're accepting that that it's okay for him to be here. He helps humanity to, I believe, ascend. It has been a while since I watched Evangelion, so I may not remember all the plot points. I just remember that with Shinji fully descending into depression, and in End of Evangelion, he basically just dooms all of humanity to die, something like that. What truly feels like one of the most visceral downward spirals of depression I've seen manifest, if that makes sense. Anyways, here's Flannery. I'm assuming her fight's going to be a lot tougher than last time, so... I'm thinking we start off with just, Shogun and Azumarill. Just start off strong.
Losing a battle isn't going to deflate me. I love Pokemon, I love to battle, and I love this gym. Let's exchange super hot moves in another battle.
I asking something for my PC. Already we have a fairly interesting mix-up here with cast form. I'm just gonna sub a defense curl and, you know, we'll just take this time to set up, because obviously they're gonna do the same. Oh, you're gonna start with Solar Beam, okay. Does this mean that Ninetales is just... Ninetales' Solar Beam is gonna go off this turn? Sure hope it doesn't. My laptop for my work, graphic design. I'm not entirely certain if I'm the best person to ask, admittedly. Because I'm not exactly the most privy to sort of all this technical stuff. Oh no. Oh, wait. Azumarill survived that? I could have sworn that Azumarill was basically toast. I mean, obviously... Shogun's not exactly going to be doing all that. Come on! Well, there's that plan out the window. I think we're going to have to think a bit more on the fly here. Double switch, I think. Double switch. Who knows, maybe her Torkoal might actually be a threat this time. Gordon couldn't wait, the Pokemon will survive being birds because this fight is more important. Yeah, I think, plot-wise, it's been rewritten a little bit so that, generally speaking, Groudon being... It's basically been rewritten so that it's okay if at the very least one of them is out in the wild. It's when both of them are out and about when conflict begins, which I suppose is mostly to explain as to why when Groudon is released we don't get sudden droughts all of a sudden like we did in Ruby. So it's more just the case that, yeah, Groudon's out here, but he's not really doing all that much. Yeah, I think a Calm Mind might be in order, actually. But as soon as Slacking has stopped loafing around. I'll just dispatch with a Shadow Ball. Time to get those Solar Beams off the field. Next, there's Macargo again. Oh, right off the bat with Overheat, damn. Yeah, that's not good. I don't necessarily think Metang and Sceptile really have a place in this fight. I'm just gonna have to make do with Shogun. Want to ask something? Well, feel free to ask. You don't need my permission, just go for it. Oh, this is a little bit awkward. Calm Mind? I think this might be useful for Torkoal. So I want to buy the Switch 2. Maybe. I think I already mentioned this, but my plan, at the very least, initially, is to wait for 6 months or so. Basically what like I did with the Switch 1. and get it when most of the kinks are ironed out and, generally speaking, there's more games to actually get for it. Because just like with the PS4, there's not really much point in buying a game console with no games to buy. And that being said, I probably don't exactly need the Switch, because I'm going to say that I have sort of been waiting a while to try and get a add-on for my GameCube, which should allow me to just load a whole bunch of games onto it, the flippy drive. I've just been waiting for mine to come by for a long time, but it still hasn't arrived yet, weirdly enough. I certainly hope it does. Alright, let's get this talk all out of here. Now, please. Oh, right on 1 hit point. Yeah, this is about to get real ugly real quick. I think I may have to we'll sacrifice Metang in order to get a fresh switch in for Azumarill. Please don't... Okay, no paralysis. We're good, we're good. I'm thinking... Rock Smash. You know what? Double Psychic. Go for it. Wait, so... God of War can get outrun by a Camerupt, but it's still faster than a Rapidash. I can only assume Max's Camerupt had a Quick Claw, because that doesn't make sense otherwise. 45! Instead of the water, I don't think I can wait 7... I don't think I can wait 7 months to buy a Switch to about a Steam Deck instead. Good plan. 16,000, wow. Let's have another one like this against the time. I'm game for that. Right, what are we gonna do now? Because this is pretty much the only stuff they're really planned for. The only question is, where do we go now? I kind of want to check out the shipwreck on Route 10 something. Oh, God, it was actually the highest level at this point. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. Obviously, I can't wait for Shilgan to evolve, but for now, we'll, yeah, I got Shedinja. We'll get Pelipper here. Oh, wait, I forgot I gave Metang the amulet coin. Buy a Mizklo, my friend, more potence in it. So many gaming tablets, so little time. Here I'm still fine with my GBA. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right now, we need to go straight for Dewford. Yeah, it feels like an age since I've been here last, and thankfully we just skip right over with Surf. I just realized I haven't fought any of the trainers along here, so this might take a bit. Do you know a little town called Dewford? I just came from there. I do quite like this, the swimmer music in this game. I say realizing that there's hardly any, trainer encounter music at all in Fire Red Leaf Green. Weirdly enough, I just weirdly only remember that, one trainer on Free Island who, tore open a swimsuit and was trying to hide. I don't know, for some reason that always stuck with me as a kid. Missed the boat soon? Don't worry, we'll hear more of that in the post-game. Which actually does sort of remind me, I'm not entirely certain as to whether I'm going to stream the post-game. Mostly just due to whether anybody's interested or would rather me just immediately move on to Klonoa 2 as soon as I'm done fighting the champion. The sea is like my backyard. Well, you gotta clean out all the trash in it. I'd hate to imagine what you'd be, how you'd fare in the Thames estuary. At least I'm assuming the Thames has an estuary. I can only assume our next plan is to do the Aqua Hideout, but again, I do definitely want to check out here first. Ooh, a double battle. We challenge you as sister and brother. Okay, I was gonna say, your overworld sprites don't really showcase that. Miss the days when I was a kid just playing PvZ and Pokemon Black back on my DS. Yeah, I miss those times as well. I mean, they could have been better, obviously, but the games were good at the very least. Just, it's been so long since I played since I played any of the Gen 5 games. I'm thinking the next time I play a Pokemon game, I want to stream one of those, just to reacquaint myself. Maybe finally play Blaze Black or Volt White. Because those are like the Pokemon ROM hacks I've heard so much about, and it's just like, it's been so long and I finally have the opportunity to play them, so may as well. Obviously, I'm gonna fight everybody here. Must have drifted off to sleep while I was drifting in the waves. You're gonna die out here, you know that? That's how people die out here. At least, going more so off the English coastline, which is freezing cold. I can only assume the seas around this area of Japan are a lot warmer, because it's like, if you end up falling asleep in, the English, the oceans around England in the Channel, you're as good as dead. Especially in the North Sea, if you, for some reason, you're mad enough to go out into the North Sea. Colder than cold. The sort of cold that just goes all the way through to your bones, and all the way back out again. Oh, I forgot. I was in such a hurry to get this thing going, get the stream going, that I forgot. Good observation right there. Well done, that man. Properties. That's not what I want. Give me the there we go. There we go. There we go. Problem solved. I want to stretch this out a little bit more. There we go. Everything is good now. Everything is going to be okay forever. Oh, finally we get Belly Drum. But I don't have room for Belly Drum. Like, Belly Drum is like the move you use on a Azumarill, at least in Gen 6, but I would be more inclined to use it if the citrus berries work the same as they do in the later games, but for now, I'll have to pass. Nice to see all the swimmers out here with nothing but tentacles. It's nice to know some things never change out here. Thanks for pointing out again. Give me a second. It's like this stream is nothing but technical issues. Haven't finished World War 2 yet. Renegade Platinum's taking up most of my time. Oh yeah, Renegade Platinum as well. I've heard a fair bit of good stuff about that one. You know, we're gonna be going into an area with a lot of water types. Sceptile's gonna go up front. I do definitely at the very least appreciate just how many double battles are in this game now compared to Ruby and Sapphire. That was like the big thing I noticed, just how many double battles there are, because of course Colosseum and XD came out in the meantime, and it's just like, we have all these games and all these mechanics dedicated to double battles, and yet there's no double battles in the main games. Let's fix that, maybe. Yeah, I'll definitely have to put out a poll in terms of what Pokemon game to stream next. It won't be for a while, though. Again, just got a lot of stuff to go through. And again, I kind of feel in terms of commentary, I tend to struggle with Pokemon games, just because of all the same sort of, oh hey, just gonna select this move, just... Generally feel that there isn't that much to talk about, admittedly. I suppose so I just go off on tangents about anything else, like the Halo books. I've actually been enjoying Cold Protocol a fair bit, which is the last one. Well, I say the last one which matters. The last one which was released in the Bungie era. Definitely say it's more just sort of a... generally a more fun sort of standalone story compared to, say, Fall of Reach. Generally just the original trilogy or Ghosts of Onyx or Contact Harvest. Just, I suppose Contact Harvest is also just sort of more of a fun standalone story, but it does basically set up the entire conflict of the series, so there's that. Just Cold Protocol is just a more sort of generally just a fun time with a lot of pre-established characters in an asteroid. But oh wait, you can run while surfing now? I didn't realize that. Apparently someone fit a Zoomer with a turbocharger. Watch this. Ready? Damn it. Wingull. I was about to show off movement speed and you ruined my buzz. Okay, just break out the repel. You know what super repel will do? Ready? Steady. Oh, this is so good. Oh, just being able to cover so much ground while surfing is amazing. Oh, this is... I was already saying this is... Aside from the whole trainer rematch thing, which I think is just something which potentially can be patched, just that alone, just that movement speed increase while surfing. This is the definitive way to play Emerald now. Alright, it's just the abandoned ship, I guess. No Libra, no nothing, just an abandoned ship, which is full of trainers for some reason. What enough would compel you to come down here? I could ask you the same thing. I'm just here for items. I just realized that I can't actually explore this whole place because I don't have dive yet. I think technically speaking, you're supposed to come here after you get the next badge. But, well, we're here now. Honestly, never knew I needed a run button to surf. I mean, it's kind of weird, because obviously, the surf move speed in this game is already pretty fast. Especially compared to, the previous games. Red, Blue, Yellow, and Crystal especially. It's not... the worst movement speed available, just, you never really realized just how much you needed to be faster. I mean, obviously, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, you needed to be faster. Especially Diamond and Pearl. That was just... I still remember trying to surf in Diamond and Pearl. That was just... like you were surfing through tar. Everything about Diamond and Pearl just felt a lot more slow-paced, which I suppose is fine. It sort of led to a more relaxing mood. But I'm not entirely certain that that was the intention. It was the thing. Ship this sort of rare, so I'm taking a look around. There appear to be other cabins. You want to play another Pokemon game at a time, or is this the... I mean, yeah, I definitely want to stream more Pokemon games, just... it's probably gonna be a while till I play the next one. Because again, I... sort of promised, that I was gonna play Cyberpunk at some point, so I figured... may as well see if people are still up with that, and then see where we go from there. Maybe once I'm done with Cyberpunk. And again, there's also a fair few other games I feel I need to get through. Like, 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts 2. I feel doing Kingdom Hearts 2 this year would be prudent. That and tie Free Night of the Queen, since that was also 2005. I suppose, thinking of 2005 games, also replaying Shadow the Hedgehog at some point. I suppose it's also kind of prudent for this game, as the original level was also 2005. The phrase is about the journey, not the destination, too literal for Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, it definitely feels like it. Some say even to this day, people are still trying to make this long, arduous surfing trip to the Pokemon League. So yeah, diving spot there, which we can't access yet. So I'm just gonna explore what we can for the time being. Probably not gonna be much. Do I wanna know? Okay. It's not even... you aren't even sick, you're just sort of standing over this empty bucket. Okay, just another empty area here. Dive ball. Nice. I hate to imagine what these beds are like. I mean, you know, in the real world, they'd just be full of rats. That's so funny about having my inner tube aboard the ship. I know, it just seems like it would break and just deflate on all these rotten, broken floorboards. I do gotta wonder what exactly caused the ship to go down, though. I will admit, I do kind of prefer how this area does look in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Just actually seeing the prow of the ship sticking out of the water, where you find the ring to fight Ho-Oh, feels a little bit more visceral in my eyes. Multi-mattress, yep, pretty much. You're bound to catch more than one thing while sleeping in one of these beds, I'll just say that much. Garrison. Oh, this is our first encounter with a Relicanth, technically, I think. One of the last Pokemon you can potentially get in this game with regards to water types. I just realized this is a pretty bad matchup for Shilkin. I'm sure you'll be fine. The Sphere is level 30. I'm sure it can tank at least one Ice Beam. Come on, Shilkin. Surely you can handle this little Sphere. There you go. There's a good boy. Something about you that sparkles. Okie doke. Who do I want to bring out next? Well, Shogun's been doing a lot of work, so we'll do that as well. After this, I think this fight has potential. A lot of fights here do have potential, I will say that much. We were searching for so many treasure hunters here. It's like they all had the same idea. I will admit that sprite is pretty adorable. They look so happy together. They still look so happy together. Anyways. Yep, and they want us to fight them again. Anyway, I think that's all we can... Nope, there's still more. There's still more. Storage key. Not entirely... I'm fairly certain that's for another part of the ship. At least I can only assume. There we go, key item. Storage key. Yep. I'm guessing it's for an area, for the dive area. It's going to ship on half captain's zone. He also asked me to find a scanner, but I haven't had any success. Okay. So, the storage key, that's probably where we find the scanner. Can I fly from here, actually? Come on, there's open sky above me. Why are you like this game? I mean, I'm not entirely surprised they overlooked that for the Romhack. This is generally quite an overlooked area, I feel. Anyways. I think all that's left to do now, aside from a great number of things, is to, unless I remember to do anything else, oh yeah. Maybe I'll take this time to actually revive my fossil. Because I've been forgetting to do that. Nice calming elevator music. There we go. Resurrects Pokemon from fossils. Is that a Pokemon fossil? Would you bring that Pokemon back to life? That does actually remind me of a another video I saw with regards to which Pokemon is the strongest in each of the Pokemon generations, and it is kind of funny that you can technically get yourself a Mega Aerodactyl at the same time as Mega Lucario, which is debatably even stronger than Mega Lucario, but at the same time there's the debate as to whether or not getting Mega Aerodactyl is worth it when Mega Lucario already just completely nukes the game anyways. I suppose this is interesting food for thought, because of course I kind of forgot that you could just get an Aerodactyl as soon as Gym 2. Anyways, time for the Aqua Hideout. It's been a long time coming. And I think, generally speaking, our team is mostly... Do you want to do some sort of speedrun? No. No. I... generally don't really have the confidence enough in my abilities to attempt a speedrun. It's like I am fairly proficient in a fair few games, but not to a level where I feel I am able to speedrun, if that makes sense. Besides, I'm more just sort of in the sort of person who prefers to just comb over as much nooks and crannies of the game as I can. Someone who prefers to enjoy every single aspect of a chicken wing rather than tries just to see just how many you can get through it as fast as possible, if that makes sense. Punisher reference? That... Well, so, that's probably a coincidence. Did cool Pokemon live that guy in the Hoenn region? Yes, they probably saw Rayquaza. I think I've already been in here, actually. Let's just go straight up to the Aqua hideout. But, that being said, for some reason I always thought coming out here was quite nostalgic. I'm assuming this is supposed to be some sort of lighthouse. Doesn't really have anything on Olivines, though. Max Repel, nice. Alright, let's head on over to the Aqua hideout. Finally drive them out of the city. Yeah, I think someone here gives you rest. Call themselves the nature-loving Team Aqua. What they say and do don't match at all. It's just like politicians and Californians. In order to wake, there we go, got rest. Sleep is essential for good health. Amen, brother. Amen. I may be wrong in thinking this, but I'm fairly certain you can get infinite of the move relearners in this game, so it could potentially get substitute on everyone. Though at the same time, do I really need substitute on everyone? I feel everybody's been doing mostly fine. I feel Sceptile would be the best recipient for substitute, actually. But at the same time, I kind of feel that, for the most part, moveset is fine for the time being. We'll see. Anyways, Aqua hideout. Yeah, there, Waver, leave out to the water now. What do you want? You're messing with our training. Can you see? Can you like get lost? I do find this kind of funny because here they're trading Whelmers, yet in Vanilla Emerald, only like one trainer in the whole of the game who works for Team Aqua uses a Whelmer. The nature-loving wall of Whelmers, yep. Well, at least it's better than that one line of people in Gen 5, just standing there for no reason. What do you want with Team Aqua? Our boss isn't here, he's off to jack a submarine. Oh wait, I forgot. We gotta do the whole Slateport thing first. We're in a bit of a hurry. Like, that... It's so crazy, like, that whole hijacking of the submarine completely just exited my mind. Alright, let's get Spelliper out. I can't wait to get Salamence. It's like, we're only like 5 levels away as well. It's gonna be great. Okay, off to Slateport. Good old Christmas City. I do forget, actually, as to whether you get any rewards for the battle tents. I'll probably have to check. Because I know they've been refurbished, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'll probably have to find that out in my off time. But for now, here we are. Captain Stern has discovered something at the bottom of the sea. I wonder what it is. What could it be? What's going on here? Did the captain come back with a big fish from the ocean floor? Well, I mean, in one semblance of the word. Well, here in view is so cool and pretty. When I grow up, I'm going to be an international journalist. Good luck with that. Am I on TV? Time to photobomb, I think. Time for a photobomb opportunity. Yes, indeed. We do intend to move ahead with our exploration. That's wonderful, Captain Stern. Thank you for making the time for your busy schedule to talk to us. We hope we can interview you again with news of more discoveries. Alright, catch you later. Phew. That was my first time to be filmed from TV. That was nerve-wracking. Oh, buddy, I know the feeling. Oh, Stan, you're looking great. We made a huge discovery on our last T-Full exploration. We found an underwater cabin on Route 128. We think it's the habitat of a Pokemon that's said to have been long extinct.
Captain Stern, I presume. We of Team Aqua will assume control of your submarine. Your objections are meaningless. We expect your total cooperation. Just watch and learn what Team Aqua has planned. What was that all about? It sounded like someone using a megaphone. Where did it come from? It's from the harbor! The submarine, they're trying to take it! Said, please come with me. Well, there they are. Oh? Ah, not ye again. Ye be tenacious to track us here, that much I give ye. But now, no one can stop us. No one! Or will ye follow us back to our hideout in Lily Cove City? Our hideout, which is in Lily Cove City. Ha 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 ha! Team Aqua. Hi. Why would Team Aqua steal my Submarine Explorer 1? They can't be after the slumbering Pokemon at the bottom of the sea. But even if I were to chase them, I don't stand a chance against them. Well, I suppose all I have to do. Arrgh! See on the 7 seas. I'm probably gonna have to get Pelipper. This is the thing, I'm constantly having to switch Pelipper back and forth. This is gonna be so much better when I get Salamence, I tell ya. Okay, now to Lily Cove. I definitely do miss the portable PC we got in the later games, but it does, at the very least, negate any sort of challenge. I mean, I say that, but technically in Scarlet and Violet, your Pokemon don't heal unless they're actually at a Pokemon Center, regardless as to whether they're in the PC or not, so... Schwing's unter Boots. Still, feeling mighty confident about our levels at this point. We might actually... For once, we might actually hit the cap. I want to play some Metroidvanias. I did try out Bloodstain at the very least. I had fun with that. But, admittedly, I don't really have that much experience with Metroidvanias. The only one I really have experience with is Metroid Dread, which I did like. So... who knows? Alright, now we can enter the Aqua Hideout, because everybody's gone. Hey, 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 hey! I just realized just how loaded I am. Well, I say that, it immediately brings out an electrode, so... Is what it is. Still, I generally say, all things considered, we're pretty well prepared to dealing with Team Aqua. Just wasn't expecting to immediately get electrodes. I can almost taste level 50. It's gonna be great. I took the loss for the team, but I did my job. Just want to check around here for items. I do find it funny as well that this is just also the Magma hideout in Ruby and Omega Ruby. Given the context of Alpha Sapphire, that just generally makes sense for Sapphire to be the quote-unquote canonical name. But oh boy, it's the teleporters from... I was gonna say Team Rock hideout, but it was really Sabrina's gym. Hope you enjoyed the teleporters. Let's see what they're all linked to. Keeping out watch out, the hideout bores me. Oh, I know the feeling. What a day. You can say that again. I think I already mentioned this. I do definitely find the character designs of the female Aqua Grunts here quite cute. I mean, obviously a lot of people prefer the ones in Horass, which I do also like as just little gremlins, but I also think these ones are quite cute as well. I'm kind of surprised they didn't constantly keep going with this dynamic as well, where all the Magma Grunts have coughings and all the Aqua Grunts have mucks, because they're both like
the villainous poison type Pokemon, and obviously Muck is more the liquidy one, so it makes sense for it to be on Team Aqua, even though Muck is basically just living sewage, so who knows? I suppose it makes sense from a thematic standpoint. Oh, I want to go through all the trainers here before we move on here, because I think this is the way to the Master Ball. You have me to beat. What do you think is cooler, Team Aqua's uniform or Team Magma's? Mine. I mean, I say that, but I definitely prefer the color scheme of the Ruby Sapphire May outfit. I really like the greens and the oranges. It's so weird seeing so many electrodes around here. I mean, I get that, I suppose the sense here is that rain team, so thunder, but obviously I'm not seeing it yet. The thunders and the rains, I mean. What microphone I use? It's just one that I got off of Amazon. It's a... Let me just check the specific name in OBS real quick. Which is funny because I constantly see it all the time, so... Properties... A HyperX Solocast, apparently. I just got it off of Amazon. For a reasonable price. Just... I feel I just tend to do this a lot, where I just go on to Amazon, just try to look for just a decent set of equipment for a reasonable price, and when I get it, it's generally turns out to be quite good. It's kind of weird. It's the same with a new set of earphones I got recently to replace the ones which have been sort of falling apart. It's a set of Anker earpods. Because I constantly figured, oh hey, Anker, I also have the standing charging port and a sound core from them, so I suppose it must be fairly decent. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised you're saying that. It's super weird. It's just this random microphone that I got off of Amazon, and people are saying, "Oh, it's actually it sounds like a pretty good mic," and I'm just like, "Really? Really?" It's just. I suppose I have to give it at the very least to Amazon for having at least decent products on there. Suppose I have to hand the Bond villain some credit. I got secret. Well, let's just say there's a submarine at the far end. Oh, really? Oh, really? You don't say. Yeah, Pekka Berry. We'll just... It's been a long time since I've actually had to use a Pekka Berry. It's weird. It's Pecha Berry. It's Pecha. It's Peach. Why am I saying Pekka like in the anime? It's not Pekka, it's Pecha. Anyways, let's have a look over here. I'm thinking this... Oh, wait. This is further down, isn't it? Sounds good enough. Alright, well, hopefully it's good enough quality for you. Actually, thinking about it, the Master Ball's probably this way, isn't it? Time to play the guessing game. This way? No. Okay, I think it's the one at the far end. There we go, now we're in the executive suite, I guess. No description. Alright, one of these is a Master Ball. Secretly a Reggie room. Yeah, I do kind of see it. Alright, there's the Nuggets. And the Master Ball. Okay. Fair enough. would have thought these would be spaced out a little more, so you actually just... So you definitely had to fight on electrodes, but I guess not. No matter though, just I'm gonna try for a yawn. Please don't self-destruct. Suppose it makes sense for them to have electrodes here as opposed to, as well as gravelers in Magma Hideout. Just two Pokemon known for blowing themselves up. No comments. Just as long as he doesn't blow himself up this turn, I think we should be good. Okay, we're good. Not gonna risk damaging it because slacking is slacking. Just gonna attempt to just freeball it. I suppose that's the logic for Electrode here, because you could argue that it's a cannonball. I mean, that and there's just wild electrodes in here, so I suppose it does make a little bit of sense that Team Aqua to use electrodes. Still don't have any paralysis heals. Okay, I still have a bunch of cherry berries left from trying to counteract Watson. We're good. And we can just absolutely flatten this next electrode because they don't have to catch it. Imagine if it just immediately just turned out to be shiny. The most painful. One of the more painful shiny encounters, one that should just blow itself up at any minute. I mean, that's and just the starting Zigzagoon / Poochyena at the start of the game. That one goes without saying. Alright, let's at least try to get up top. Okay, that was smoother than I anticipated. Actually doing fairly smooth sailing. We might actually make it a Moss Deep at this rate. I'm not really counting on it, but it's a nice fort. Shiny where? Yeah, there hasn't been any shinies yet, even off stream. I would have probably added them to the team if that were the case, just to showcase, look, I got the shiny! But alas, no. Alright, they're also using Sneasels as well. I was like... Team Magma uses Murkrows? Team Aqua uses Sneasels because ice is technically a form of water, I guess. So this leaves me to wonder where, Piloswine and generally just the Swinum line would fit into that whole dynamic, because it's technically a ground type and it's a form of water type. Ingru snacks. Oh, they definitely have their priorities in order, just loading up the submarine with as many snacks as possible. There we go, we finally have a Whalmer. Well, another Whalmer. Still looking pretty demented, if I do say so myself. Come on, Slacking. I'm gonna have to switch you out now, I hope you're happy. I probably should have used Strength, but ah well. And it's about... Yeah, I suppose that grid does look pretty demented now to think about it. Just all the creepypasta material out in the interweb just sort of recontextualizes Walmo with its just massive teeth. This massive grin. I took a serious licking. I was supposed to happen. My mission was just to hold you up. I was just a distraction, you see. I kind of want to just check out as much as the hideout as I possibly can before we finish. You may call it padding, but shush. Nest ball. Perfect for when I need to try and capture Groudon. Or should I say Gordon? It's like after just hearing some various videos online, I just can't help but just hear Gordon whenever someone mentions Groudon. It's been ruined for me.
Warp panels, the hideout's pride and joy. You're clueless about where you are, aren't you? Fluster and tire out the enemy, then lower the boom. That's our plan. When I joined Team Aqua, the first thing I had to learn was how these warp panels connected. Yeah, I imagine this Team Aqua thing has a pretty high turnover rate if the warp panels are a recurring thing. Oh, we finally have a Gyarados. We finally have Gyarados. And Gardevoir is not at the front of the party. It's kind of a shame. I'm sure we'll manage. Just, yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I have focus energy and Shield can resist water. We'll be fine. Tentacruel might be a bit of a worry. But, we have increased crit rate. What's the worst that can happen? See, that's the best it can really... Oh, I forgot Gyarados has Gust. Yeah, they gave Gyarados Gust in these Romhacks. Just so it had an actual usable flying type move, I guess. Yeah, well, I'm sure Shulkin can finish off a Gyarados. Now watch, his Shellgun has a higher crit rate. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, there's Murkrow again, so and I suppose it does sort of make sense for them to use Murkrows, because back before Chatot was a thing, Murkrow was sort of the de facto parrot Pokemon. At least in Pokemon Movie 9. I remember that at the very least. There was a Murkrow on the pirate crew, which acted as the ship's parrot. Because apparently all pirates need a parrot, apparently. At least that wasn't even the case for the most part. It's actually a good question, actually. I'm not entirely certain as to where the whole stereotype of pirates having a parrot came from. It's just sort of something you just sort of don't really think about after a while. It's just like, okay, but why though? I've never actually seen any historical reference to pirates having a parrot. I mean, yeah, I get that they visit exotic landscapes for as part of their job description, but do they really just bring parrots home with them? Can't help but wonder. Anyways. Here we go, finally at the end. I'm here. Hehehe. Got here already, did you? We underestimated ye. But this is it. I'm a cut of the grubs you've seen so far. I ain't stalling for time. I'm gonna pulverize ye. Here we are, finally with, look how macho he is. Matt, that's him. I get a lot of people, definitely prefer his design in Horass, and honestly, I'm kinda inclined to agree, even if Gingercide is real. Oh, this is gonna be a little bit of an awkward exchange. Oh, setting up rain immediately. Okay. It's like, finally, we're seeing, a Team Aqua battle where they actually use rain. And fun. Oh, there we go. I was waiting for one of you to use Rain Dance Thunder. Look at that, 38 as well. We actually have a bit of a fight on our hands now. I know 2024 was a good year. I mean, yeah, for a lot of people it wasn't exactly a great year, but I'm personally inclined to disagree, mostly in comparison to how 2020 through 2022 were. I mean, anything would be better than those years in my opinion. So, yeah, they may not have been great, but they're still, could be worse. Yeah, I really just feel like we have a fight on our hands now. Actually going up against a fairly menacing-looking Groudon. focus energy, I think. I don't think you have much that can hurt me, Groudon. I was wrong! Oh, they really did just go whole hog with these movesets, didn't they? I mean, I'm fine with it, just wasn't anticipating it. Alright, next. Oh. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is very not good indeed. God of War, please. Surely you can tank him, a champ. Rock Tomb, not great. Could be worse. I'm still faster than Machamp. Okay, I think I can take you out this turn, so, bye-bye. You were pretty good. Yeah, we hardly ever see Machamp in this game either, actually. And there's his ace, Huntail. A bit of an odd pick, but, I suppose it makes sense with alongside Shelly having Gorbis. The steroids are coming. Well, have you seen how Matt is built? He's built like a tank. I suppose it makes sense. So I lost too. While I was toying with you, our boss was getting through his preparations. Our boss is already on his way to some cave under the sea. If ye gonna give chase, you better search in the big wide sea beyond Lily Cove. But will ye find it then? Well, only one way to find out, I suppose. Okay, so this just leads... Okay. And with that... That normally is where the good part, let's just say, of the Hoenn games will come to an end. As from here, all that lays out there is the ocean. I kind of want to stock up a little bit. I don't think there's going to be much lying between here and Mosty, which we haven't fought already. Generally speaking, I think most of the wild Pokemon we still have left to catch are undersea ones, or just generally ones we don't have access to yet. Has been keeping relatively up to date with the Pokédex. We already have. I've already caught, like, or should I say, registered over 100 Pokemon, so generally been making good on progress, I think. All right, out into the big blue yonder. Repel up, so I don't... Oh yeah, that reminds me, actually. They did mention that they got rid of the level 5 to 10 Wingull encounters out here, just because they seemed pointless. Growing bored of Oh, believe me. You're not gonna be the only one. Grace and Declan as opposed to Grace and Will. These are stronger than the Gyarados I fought over in the Aqua Hideout. What gives? Also, Wishcash. That's not good. Yeah, just get rid of that Wishcash on the double. Yeah, I've been making surprisingly good progress, if I do say so myself. I almost forgot that Gyarados basically does no damage with water attacks in this game, but Wishcash, that's a different story. I mean, Matang's still pretty tanky, but still. Using Earthquake tactics at this point in the game, I mean, it is starting to get a little bit more tricky. I mean, like, ever since I entered the Magma Hideout, a lot of the movesets have just been a bit more, let's just say, fine-tuned. It's like the game's not messing around anymore, it's bringing out the big guns. Which sort of leads me to wonder how exactly Tate and Lies is gonna go, because
I can certainly imagine that's gonna be quite an interesting affair. $45. Oh, and another wish cache. Okay. Okay, Matang, you gotta get back. You're getting out of there. I'm not risking you against another earthquake. Yeah, it really feels like the levels at this point are, at least from where I'm sitting, kind of what they should be. At least for just a standard trainer battle, that makes sense. And the funny thing is, we're still not going to be hitting the level cap, I think. Yep, just more diving spots. And here I was thinking we're just going to be spending a whole bunch of time just out on the ocean here, but that kind of throws a spanner in my works, because I wasn't entirely certain as to where I was going to stop this, but alas, it does seem as though we're going to be possibly beating Tate and Liza this stream. Which I wasn't expecting, but I'll take it. Generally just wasn't expecting that surf speed boost. Either I kind of overlooked it or just forgot about it. I mean, obviously, I'm fairly confident in our chances against Tate and Liza. Just so far, don't think I necessarily have a particularly weak link. Just slacking here, just general hard hitter, and then for Solrock and Lunatone, I have Zoomerl and Sceptile. Gardevoir with Shadow Ball for Claydol and the like. Fiverr a good place to start working? Yeah, I've seen stuff on Fiverr before. A little bit of stuff. I'm gonna need to restock soon. I will say though, even though this is probably gonna be music we're gonna be hearing for a lot of the rest of the game, did always find the surfing music here quite relaxing at the same time fairly grandiose, just like giving the sense that you're really out on a big adventure now. You got your big boy pants on now, you got surf. The game's really opened up to you now. Just looking at the stream, actually, I can't help but feel that maybe how I have the chat set out could look a little bit cleaner. Just went with that because it was easiest, to put it lightly. Just generally for my technical know-how, this seemed the easiest and most reliable way to not mess up, even though I already sort of did because I kind of got flustered due to the technical difficulties prior to the stream going live. There we go, 45. It really feels as though we're getting close to Metagross now. I can't remember as to whether Metang evolves at 45 or 55. I think it's 55. Chat is... I was being sort of appearance-wise to the chat, because it really is just showcasing the live chat as it is straight from YouTube itself, as opposed to any fancy stuff. Alright. 45. Yes! 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 Finally! Metang is evolving! We got the king! The king is here! At long last, Metagross lives! I could have sworn we got Meteor Mash at this point, but I guess that comes later. But, yeah. We have a Metagross now. I kind of forgot it evolved at 45, to be perfectly honest, but that's fine because, look at that. Look at all of this. I am a lot more confident now about our chances against Tate and Liza. At this point, the only Pokemon I'm really waiting on is now Shelgon, which I'm not entirely certain is going to evolve before the Elite Four, but if it does, we're gonna be in for a whale of a time. Diving Treasure Hunter. Blue Shard. Oh, this is where you get your stones. Gotcha. I was sort of wondering, I was like, how exactly are you supposed to get evolution stones? Past the... for just repeat evolutions, like, obviously, you gotta use more than one leaf stone. You gotta use more than one fire stone, for instance, and, there's my answer. What an absolute unit. Agreed. Well, here we are. Moss Deep City. Just using the same soundtrack as, Rustboro and Moorville. It's utterly hopeless. I'm a fighting type trainer. Oh, you can... yeah, you can teach, Pokemon Dynamic Punch, except, actually, did Dynamic Punch get buffed in any way? Let's find out. Dynamic Punch. There we go. Its accuracy has now been buffed to 70. I mean, I'm still probably not going to use it, but it's at the very least a little bit more usable than now. But I think it's the case that in the post-game, the move relearners just become infinite. I think that's it. I don't have any good learners for Dynamic Punch at this point. A lot of talking about Sutopolis. I think I know how I'm gonna pad out the rest of the stream. Because I was thinking, oh, let's do Tate and Liza, but, I have a better idea. I want to check out Shoal Cave. Obviously, I'm not 100% certain as to whether it's high tide or low tide. We'll check when we get in, but generally speaking, I recall there being a lot of good goodies in here. Let's see. Is it high tide or low tide? It's high tide. Great. Oh well. Because obviously there's a whole bunch of Pokemon you can get in here now. I mean, aside from the usual ones. Also nice that this dungeon just has the same music as New Moorville. Also, I'm fairly certain the cave entrances here have been changed to be to make the ones from Fire Red and Leaf Green. Anyway, here's Spheal. Good old Spheal. I feel, generally speaking, I'd be more inclined to use Spheal if it was earlier in the game. Like, generally... I suppose, like most people, I'm sort of attracted to using Spheal in Gale of Darkness, where it's available at the start of the game alongside a lot of other Pokemon, like Gardevoir and Houndoom. I say Ralts. Ralts and Mawile and Gulpin. The good stuff. Not entirely certain as to what else we'll be running into here aside from Spheals. But it does sort of remind me a lot of Destiny Deoxys, where the protagonist is just traumatized by just a stampede of Walreins. Just bringing back memories of the... Yes, here we are! Piloswine has joined the game! Classic Iron Freak pushing ice types late into the games. They always seem to perceive ice type as being the super powerful type when it really just isn't the case. But yeah. Piloswine is here now. Piloswine is in the game. Because I think the the maker of the Romhack also mentioned just... I think I also mentioned this as well, just the fact that aside from Regice, there's only like 2 families of ice types in the game, which is just Walrein... Walrein and Glalie, that was it. So, obviously, they decided to add some more ice types. Mainly just Sneasel and Piloswine. There he is, just... Suppose there's a good opportunity to just use Piloswine. I think generally speaking I technically have all the Pokemon I can get in here, because of course we got Glalie earlier in the... Not Glalie, Snorunt. Snorunt at the start of the game. In Moorville. Suppose this would be a decent place to train as well, now that I'm thinking about it. I think, technically speaking, we've encountered pretty much all the newly added families of Pokemon to this ROM map, because they had to add a couple, so yeah. In terms of additional Pokemon to the Romhack, we have the Ponyta line for an additional fire type. We have Murkrow and Sneasel, the Swinub and Piloswine, and of course the Houndour and Houndoom. It does kind of feel weird to just see them just at the bottom of the Pokédex after Rayquaza, but it is what it is, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly run from this tentacle. I think I already mentioned this before, I don't remember how, but somehow, some way, on my first playthrough of Sapphire, my Master Ball somehow ended up getting used on a random tentacle. It wasn't even a shiny, it was just any old, just common or garden tentacle. And for some reason I just didn't reset the game even though I failed to catch Kyogre. I guess I just thought I'd already come this far in the game and I don't want to back out now. Even though, realistically speaking, I probably should have just picked Swampert. Like a normal person. Probably thinking I will just veto that in when I do Sea Glass, actually. I'll just start off with Mudkip and just see how far I get. Yeah, I definitely want to level up Shulk, just the sooner we get to Salamence, the better. Actually, hold up a minute. Hold up a minute. What do you think of the Xbox style Switch console? No comment. Actually, hold up. Wait a cotton pick a minute. Oh, 45 is the level cap. Into rabbiting. We've actually hit the level cap. For once. Yeah, if you didn't know, for the hard mode, I am technically playing on this game's hard mode, which forces a level cap, where your Pokemon cannot exceed the level of the next gym leader's highest level Pokemon, which in this case is 45. Xbox style Switch console, I'm definitely not gonna get it, because I was a kid deleting legendaries from the PC because I believed you could battle legendaries again. Ah, you poor sad fool. I kind of want to get Slacking up to the level cap now. Okay, so that's all of Shulk Cave, I believe, that we can explore. I mean, hard mode has definitely been quite right, if I do say so myself. There has been a fair bit of rough going throughout this whole experience. I mean, I'm not mad about it or anything. I've been enjoying the experience at the very least. Definitely gonna have to spend a bit more time trying to figure out what went wrong with the aspect ratio once this is done. Shoal Shell. At the very least, it's a consolation. I don't have to worry about grinding anymore. I can just spend a fair bit of my time just messing around in the battle tents. Because I have definitely been having a lot of fun with this game. Actually, can we get up there? Is that a low tide area? Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think it's a low tide area. Oh, well. I think I'll just, finish off the straggling trainers around this. Actually, I don't have to, don't I? Because, I can just... There's no reason for me to fight any of the trainers here anymore. You know, as soon as I get slacking up to the level cap, I can just beeline it straight for the, This actually gives me an idea. I could probably use the gym trainers as a means of leveling up some other Pokemon. Like Normal, I can actually potentially evolve him into Camerupt because he's the only one who's going to be getting experience. In this stream, I hope you have a good sleep. Yeah, I'll hopefully have a good sleep as well. Just probably going to spend the rest of the stream just looking around Moss Deep. So close to 45 now. Okay. And of course the last one is a Zubat. To think that you can get a Metagross at Tantalizer. I wouldn't have thought I would have initially thought that Metagross would just be limited to the Pokemon League. Well, this will be the last one. $45. Everybody's at the level cap. I would have thought I'd see the day. So, probably going to do all the low tide stuff off stream, to be perfectly honest, so we can just move on and... Because obviously next, once we've beaten Tantalizer, it's going to be Seafloor Cavern and potentially all of Sootopolis. We'll see. We're starting to get to the end game now. I can feel it. Everything's coming together. Feels good. And I'm hoping that the coming week is going to be good as well. Don't need any more of those. So yeah, just 15 minutes just casually looking around Moss Deep. Oh, there's some Steven. King's Rock. Nice. I remember at the very least this is Steven's house, where you'd normally get Beldum. Likes to go to people's secret bases. Ooh. This does admittedly leave me with a bit of a quandary, to be perfectly honest. Who am I going to teach Earthquake to? Because I got a lot of good candidates. I was thinking I could probably teach someone else Dig as well. Do I want to teach someone Dig? Not really. I'm just wondering what I can do with all these 8 gems now when I'm thinking about it. Because obviously I would teach Aerial Ace to Shilgun, but I kind of want to hold off until it evolves so I can teach it Fly. And I just kind of feel that teaching it Aerial Ace would kind of be a waste. I don't want to risk any hidden power shenanigans, because obviously I can't really tell. I suppose I could potentially tell what each Pokemon's hidden power is, but I don't want to have to rely on it. You believe in ghosts? Not really. It's definitely a fascinating subject, but definitely more so in the realm of fiction, I suppose. At least that's the way I've always seen it. I suppose that doesn't exactly stop me from getting nervous about things that go bump in the night. I was just gonna put the Master Ball in there. Because you can thankfully do that in this game. Yeah, Soft Sand, Quick Claw, all the incenses. Misty Water, Shark Beak, King's Rock. I know that's technically a evolution item, but I'm going to hold on to it for the time being. I am definitely hoping that there are more King's Rocks you can get in the game. Black Glasses. Could have potentially put that on Shelgon. Ah, well. Look at all this stuff I can sell now. Yeah, definitely, okay, so that's all 4 shoal shells you can get as far as I'm aware. Big Pearl. Look at all this money I have now. What do I think? I need to restock. Probably just gonna go that many minis. And some net balls as well. Hyper potions. I don't really like the fact that I have to use them, but I feel they're, at least compared to super potions, they're a little bit more worth the money. Crazy you can actually just buy ethers now. How many gyms left? 2. Titanizer is 7, and Sutopolis is 8th. And some more full heals. Alright, I think that's good. Feels like we're set for the next leg of the journey. Some kind of uproar about a letter they received. Ah, that sounds interesting. Let's check it out. Yep, just talking a lot about the circle of life. Another netball. Oh, hey, Scott.
Feeling good? I'm doing great. I heard Moss Deep's gym leader is pretty strong, so I decided to come take a look-see for myself. There's something wrong about this town. People are going on about a warning letter in the Space Center. I don't think it concerns me in any way, though.
Alright. Later. It's a white rock. Special means to people here use it as a wish for the rockets to fly safely. Alright, that's... I remember now. Supposedly there's a Jirachi side quest. Officially. Across the sea with Pokemon using Surf. Now that's an exhilarating trip. I know many a trainer who would disagree. Scott Corford. Yep. Finally got the Super Rod. I definitely do miss being able to register multiple key items like you could in Black and White, I believe. I'm pretty sure you could also do it in X and Y. Where you just press select and then whichever one is assigned to your directional key. Alright, that's the Wingull from Fortree, isn't it? Don't envy it one bit at all. Well, let's have a look and see what's going on in the Space Center, the place closest to space, which isn't Mount Coronet. Steven!
Stan, have you read that notice already? Team Magma's coming to seize control of the satellite system here. I don't know what they need it for, but they can't be allowed to interfere. I'll keep an eye on things for a little while longer. In the meantime, why don't you go check out the town?
This is an intent to access notice? To the staff of the Space Center, how are you? We're doing fine. Pretty informal and kind of friendly for a warning notice. You know the song Pokemon? Yeah, I'm pretty sure every Pokemon fan knows the theme song, the original theme song to the anime. We will soon visit you to use your satellite systems. Please don't try to stop us. We will achieve our goal no matter what. Let us prevent disaster, Team Magma. Could have at least been a bit more explanatory, I suppose. Rocket's launch is imminent. Giant chunk of metal bursts through the skies and flies into space. It boggles my mind! Nice. We can potentially use this to get a ball. I just realized we have a whole bunch of sunstones. Pokemon came from space, apparently. I just realized we could use that to get a Blossom. Because I'm fairly certain I just have a Gloom lying about. How many Glooms do I actually have? We could use this opportunity to get Blossom and Vileplume. Just a way to pad out the stream. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's see, so... There's one Gloom. I'm hoping that I have more than one, so we're just gonna take this ugly, stinky goblin of a Pokemon and, actually, let's have a look at its stats real quick. Not sure it really matters, but, careful... Yeah, not really, the best specimen, but... I do want to get a, let's have a look-see. How many Sunstones do we even have? 2 Sunstones, okay. Yeah, we'll just use this to get Blossom real quick. It's kind of weird, I've never actually been inclined to use Vileplume or Blossom, which is kind of a shame. I think I'll actually have to make an active note about that whenever I play Yellow Legacy. Just use unorthodox Pokemon. You know, like Vileplume. Or Poliwrath. Or a Fire type. Because let's face it, there's not really any real reason to use a Fire type in Gen 1. Unless it's Charizard, obviously. Because... reasons. I know this Leaf Stone is usually just saved for you to get Shiftery, but actually, did we have a Nuzleaf? I want to check, did we have a Nuzleaf? It's not epic like Matang, but... yeah, I suppose we did sort of peak with getting Metagross. More noises coming from outside. I do kind of miss the search option from the later games as well. I could have sworn I had a Nuzleaf in there somewhere. Ah well, I may as well take this opportunity to get Ludicolo. It's a good stream. Thanks a bunch, I haven't really been feeling all that, as you might have noticed. Where's my Water Stone? Where's my Water Stone? There's my Water Stone, just the one, unfortunately. I just realized I forgot to get the one in Petalburg. Because they did put a Water Stone in Petalburg, just so you could hold off. So you could actually get a Ludicolo after you beat Norman, as opposed to having to wait till you get to Moss Deep in order to get Ludicolo. It would have probably been more prudent on me to remember had I actually been using Ludicolo throughout the playthrough. So yeah. Just having a look at some more Pokemon we can evolve, because I definitely want to fill up more of my Pokédex. For my sake, at the very least. There is definitely rewards you do get for completing the Pokédex, as is tradition with all the Legacy games, just not sure whether people will be interested in seeing the post-game. Ah well. For the time being, just in preparation, just gonna put the EXP share on Numel. Definitely want to be saving those rare candies for when we get the 7th badge. And, well, I'm probably gonna have to get Volplume eventually, so I may as well get it now. I'm at least hoping there's more opportunities to get Leaf Stones. Which don't require me grinding shells. Okay, Leaf Stone, Leaf Stone, Leaf Stone. It's like free Christmas gifts in one episode. Well, unfortunately, don't get used to it, because we only really have one evolution left in our party, which is, of course, Shelgon. Good old Volplume, funny little guy. I never really had any ill will towards Volplume, aside from the Venus fight in Colosseum. Just generally thought he was a funny little guy, and just really enjoyed his fainting animation, where he just turned into a flat flower before being dragged into his Pokeball. It was kind of cute. Okay, so... Shelgon best for... Well, considering Salamence could probably just solo the entire league by himself. I am inclined to agree, but I think that's gonna be all for tonight. Next time, obviously, we start off with the Tate and Liza fight, and potentially the epic climax to the story of Ruby and Sapphire. But until then, thank you for bearing with me, and hopefully, look at that, 115. Been making good progress on the Pokédex. But yeah. Until next time, I'll have to go back and actually find Survivor and some others, but until then, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.